Now, Primetime Politics.
Tonight in Primetime Politics, a Never Trump Indiana delegate is taking a stand. Josh Claiborne from Evansville tells the Associated Press he will not be attending the convention in Cleveland this summer. He says he refuses to participate in the coronation of Donald Trump. Claiborne believes Trump, quote, peddles fear and mean-spirited insults and lacks the temperament to be president. Claiborne is stepping down, which means an alternate will be named. And joining us now is Nick Barbkennect.
Thanks for being here. You're an alternate delegate. I think it's pretty safe to say that you're in the Never Trump camp as well.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'm for someone who doesn't take up the policy of the loudest person in the room wins.
And Nick, you know, you're very in tune of what a lot of the delegates are saying. So what is the overall feeling, and what are the other delegates saying right now?
I think you talk to a lot of people. I can't speak for all of them. I'm not all of them, but I think I talk to a lot of friends who are keeping their head down and focused on things that help bring Indiana up and help create the policies that have created a state that has a great economic environment and a state that has something that is building jobs all over, things that help us grow, focusing on here, because there's not a lot of room to grow in Trump's candor, Trump's rhetoric, the things that he's espousing.
So you had the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, come out today and say that he's not sure he can get on board with Trump, not yet at least. But the chairman of your party, Ryan Priebus, is saying it's time. Come on, guys, let's go.
And that's the chairman's right to say that, and I can't speak for him either. All I know is Donald Trump's not someone who I want representing my ideals. He's not the reason I joined the Republican Party. I joined the Republican Party because I believe in individual advancement of limited government, things that help when you create an environment where people can design their own future and empower them to create their own future. That's the sort of things I believe in, not the sort of denigrating politics that Donald Trump advances.
We asked a lot of local Republican leaders, you know, would you support Donald Trump as the presumptive GOP nominee? And they all said, I support the Republican nominee. Why can't they say Donald Trump's name? Why do you think that is?
There's a reason for that. I think you look at Donald Trump, and unfortunately, the Republican Party is headed toward a path where we have nominated one of the only people in the free world who has worse approval ratings than Hillary Clinton. We've got someone who is not tempered to be president, who is not likable compared to Hillary Clinton. He's defined himself in a way that he hasn't been before, and so it's a big hole to dig out from.
So what do you do at this point then? A guy like you, do you stay home in November? Do you hope that a third-party candidate gets in, or a Republican, a conservative Republican, to take both Hillary, and if she's the nominee, and Donald Trump on?
There's infinite hope for everything, right? There's always something else that could happen. We never thought Donald Trump would be here, so we can always hope for something else. I'll keep working and doing everything I can for local candidates here who would advance the things that.
But what about the national election?
I'll keep working to try to help someone who might come up. If there were someone to rise up that would be a little bit more decent than Donald Trump, I might consider that. But it's a math problem at the end of the day.
So if it was tomorrow, would you stay home?
If the election were tomorrow, would I stay home? No, I would vote. I'd probably skip the first line on the ballot, though.
Really? I mean, with Republicans out there, when you have a Republican versus a Democrat, and if you're a registered Republican, you're going to want to vote that Republican nominee. So
that's what he's saying. He doesn't want to, right?
Right, but I guess kind of, so then why is it? What is it about Trump that really just makes you say, I'm not going to check that name off?
He's not a decent person. At the end of the day, as a member of the Republican Party, I need to look at the national folks who are a part of my party and say whether I agree with them. I cannot defend Donald Trump. I cannot, with a good, full heart, defend him as a member of my party.
I think it's safe to say that Paul Ryan didn't say he's not in the Never Trump camp. He's in the not Trump right now camp.
Yeah.
There was a hashtag, right? Are you there? Could he convince you by November to get your vote?
It's a long walk.
What would he have to do in order to convince you?
He'd have to act like a decent person. He'd have to stop taking the National Enquirer report seriously. He'd have to act like an upright citizen. That's just the start. From there, he'd have to be consistent in his ideals and be a consistent person, not a politician who says one thing and then as soon as he's done with the primary does another.
Let me try this one more time. What would you say to the people who are Republicans right now and who would look at a guy like you and say, you know what, if you stay home, if you don't support Trump, you're handing the election to Hillary Clinton?
I cannot in good faith defend Donald Trump as a member of my party, and that's the bigger question in my mind. I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton. It's my right to vote for whoever I want. I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but I cannot right now vote for the ideals that Donald Trump has laid out.
But they do say that if you stay home and vote, for example, and you don't vote for Donald Trump, and you're, like you said, giving it to Hillary Clinton, and if Hillary Clinton does win, they say that's going to be another 8 years of Obama. So do you think that not voting for Trump maybe would not be in your best interest as a Republican who, I'm assuming, would not want another 8 years of an Obama-like administration?
A Donald Trump administration isn't much better. And so I cannot, in good faith, say that this is someone who represents my ideals, because he doesn't. And that's really it at the end of the day.
All right, Nick, very interesting to talk to. We hope you'll come back on. Nick Barbkennect,
who is the alternate delegate for the 2nd District, and he's also the 2nd Congressional District Vice Chair. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.